Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Another video today, and it's been quite a week for new synthesizers. So I just had a look at Absinthe 6, which was just released, and Zebra 3. It's finally here. It's not officially released yet. It's in public beta, but you can go try this out right now. Now, I've been really fortunate to actually be a part of the sound design team on Zebra 3. I met with the UE guys at Super Booth this year in May, and then started testing this and working on this around June already. So I've spent quite a lot of time with it as it's grown over the last couple of months. I'll tell you now, straight up, it's an absolute beast of a synthesizer. It is entirely unique. Nothing's quite like this in terms of the feature sets that you have here. And for me personally, I think some people may take some time to get used to certain features, but it's one of those synths that tends to kind of nudge you in really, really interesting directions. Just the whole workflow around things. Once you kind of figure stuff out, there's a few oddities, and once you kind of get around those, you really end up in some very, very, very unique sonic territory when it comes to programming this. So I'm going to take a look at some of the sounds that I've been working on basically in this video, and then also kind of show you a couple of the new features that I really like. It is a completely new synth, this from the ground up. It's not compatible with Zebra 2. You may want to hang on to your Zebra 2 legacy installations for now, but it looks fairly similar. But let's dive in. We'll take a look at some of the new stuff in here. Right, so here we go, Zebra 3. I've got a pre-release beta, so one or two things might have changed with the release that's publicly available now. Similar layout to before. You've got the sort of matrix in the middle here, which you can, it's sort of semi-modular system that you have here. This is laid out slightly differently along the bottom now. There's a couple of quality of life things like being able to drag and drop stuff a little bit easier. And so forth, effects and things. What you will find that there's an ARP that's missing. There's no sequencer currently with this. It is coming in a later release, but I'm going to show you some really cool new additions to this that kind of circumvent that for now. So the first thing I want to mention here is the oscillators. They've been completely overhauled, and while the concept is still the same, it's just kind of crazy how cool these are in terms of what you can do with this. Let me just grab one of the presets here so I can just show you kind of what the oscillators are capable of. What you're going to want to do when you get this set up is actually assign some MIDI controls. You can do that in this section here. You want to make sure that control A, B, C, and D are assigned to something. They have default values. I've set them up as faders on this keyboard, so from CC20 through to 23. And you're going to want to play with your mod wheel a bit, but take a listen to this. So all of that effect stuff is coming from a single oscillator here and one single MSEG. The MSEGs are essentially the same thing as the oscillators. I'll show you some cool stuff that you can do with those as well. Of course, the oscillators are either an additive synth, like this one is right now. They can be run as a wavetable, kind of like a wavetable. It's not an audio file that you're bringing in, although you can import wavetables that way, but it is more like an SVG spline that you are morphing around. It also reacts to it at a spectral level or as a waveform as well, which gives you some interesting options too. But the level of editing that you have here, do yourself a favor, go check out the Zebra video that I did, because I cover a lot of the guides and things, how you can actually cut away from parts of the spectrum and things. It's way too much for the scope of this video right now, but I'll do some stuff down the line covering that. What I will say, it's pretty insane what you can do there. Here's another patch that really shows this off. This is one of my favorite ones called Throat Funk, which is a lead sound. And this is really just relying on oscillators to get the sound that I've got here. I love that patch. Really guttural kind of sounding leads. And that's all pretty much, most of the sort of interesting stuff is coming from morphing the oscillators. So, like I mentioned, the MSEGs can be morphed as well in this, which is really super interesting. We'll take a look at some of these, and actually I'll get to the envelopes in general here, because like I mentioned, the arpeggiator is missing, but one of the cool new features about this is that you can actually trigger envelopes from other sources now. So like I said, you can morph MSEGs. Just speed this up a little bit. So we've got this pattern happening. Mod wheel will give you some cutoff. Now I'm going to use this to modulate the MSEGs to change the patterns. Cool. So what's happening there is that those are actually controlling some of the cutoff of the filter, and as well as some of the amplitudes of some of these oscillators. But as you morph through the waveforms for the MSEGs, let me just come over to these here. You'll see I've got a number of different waveforms that I've dialed in here. And if you have them synced up, using the crossfade morphing between them will actually keep them locked into time. And you can actually scale through different motions just by doing that. Really interesting for kind of sequence sounds. So let's, again, I wanted to talk, like I mentioned, that you can trigger the envelopes also for sequence sounds like this. And this one, as you can see here, we're using the MSEGs to trigger the envelopes. And these envelopes are here, envelope 3 for the volume on this channel here. Let's play that back. And again, no arpeggiator, but you've got sequence patches like this. It's kind of, you know, in the vein of modular kind of stuff. Yeah, so you get some pretty insane stuff with that. There's a bunch of different modulation happening there on, I think, some of the effects as well. But really cool sequence stuff using these MSEG envelopes. There's a lot you can do with these, along with a mapper as well, mind you. We haven't actually looked at those yet either. Here's some more sequence stuff as well. Cool. Maybe another sequence one as well, and then we'll move into something else. There's something a little bit more sort of standard and sequency, but like a really nice sort of baseline this, but also being triggered. This one is actually getting the arpeggio vibes from the mapper, which is controlling some of the pitches for the sequence. Yeah, there you go. Let's check out a few other patches. Actually, let's move on to another feature instead. Let's take a look at some of the physical modeling stuff, because there's some pretty cool stuff that's been done here with these new modules, the modal modules. There's also an exciter module to go with the modal modules. as well as some updates to the comb filtering. So you get some pretty interesting stuff with that. There's also a granular delay, which is new. Let's take a look at Origins of the Sun first. This patch kind of rings out a little bit because it's running through the new granular texture verb as well. That one controls a bit crusher. Okay, so this control is going to be the density of the particles coming in here, and I'm going to bring these in through the combs now. So beautiful textures that we're getting out of that. And this one is running noise again, like pulses of noise through the modal oscillators now, using a glass bowl, I think it was, model. So the mod wheel's going to actually bring in some wind chimes now. Controls will control the density of those. There's no samples happening here at all. This is all physically modeled from these oscillators. This one, the exciter's being kind of tapered off with this envelope and changed with various different key presses and so forth. But it kind of generates multiple little impulses, and you get these kind of waterfall effects. Take a listen to this. So the mod wheel's making up the padding in the background. I'll change the modal profile now using one of these controls. There you go, more glassy. Pretty cool. Yeah, so let's take a look at the filters now as well. You do need to watch out which ones you're using. If you're doing sort of heavy polyphonic stuff, typically you're going to want to stay away from some of these at the bottom. They do use a lot of DSP. The vanilla ones you can get away with loads that are incredibly well optimized. These ones, the vanilla and the linear ones, SVS fine too. The ladder and the cascade is okay. As soon as you start coming down to this impossible C and expanse, excitement, I'll drive these ones. The yellow filter as well takes up a lot of resources. You can also get around that using lower resolution oscillators too, but we'll cover that maybe in another video down the line. Here's a sort of big fat analog bass sound. This one I really like. I put quite a lot of randomized stuff into this to kind of get it really warm and analog this. There's a lot of sort of random sources, I think, on the actual like the tuning. And this is another feature that we should look at. Actually, the pitches have changed quite drastically how this works now. You've got different pitch modules that can be assigned to each. They're typically just assigned to one, but you can assign multiple different pitch modules to various different things, oscillators and filters for key tracking and so on. So you could have, for example, slight different guide rates for oscillator 2, glide rates, slightly different tuning. So this one's got a lot of very slight different tuning options in it to give you this sound. A little bit of resonance on the filter. So this one has one of the new filters in it, which is the all-pass filter, and it's just absolutely filthy, this lead sound. But take a listen to this guy. Yeah, so that's the all-pass filter. There's also filter modulation happening on this one, which you can actually route two filters now inside of here, and you can actually add filter FM. So that's being added with one of these controls, and it's giving you that really nice growliness to the filter there. There's another really interesting one now that I was talking about, the pitches module. Let's check this one out. So this one is designed to be played with an arpeggiator. Even though there isn't one available, we can just turn one on in Bitwig here. And this is an interesting use of this pitches module, because you'll see that the pitches 2 is set to previous source key. So that's the current one playing, and there's a layer of this synth, of this patch, that is always chasing the lead layer because it's one key behind always. So we'll play this back now. You can control the filter there. That's your effects. There's a bit of attack that happens with that. When I bring up this control 1, it's going to add in a second layer, but the pitch is being followed. So play like this. Check this out. Super cool. Really clever, nice way to kind of use that kind of thing. I'll take a look at another one that's also designed to be played with an arpeggiator like this, which also uses some of the new modules in Zebra 3 in terms of mixing. This one, First Signs of Spring, while we've got the arpeggiator loaded up here. So this one basically 4 oscillators, but they're being routed into 2 different streams. Well, 3, 2 actually. We're not using 3 and 4, 2 and 4. But they're each running into one of these 4-into-1 mixer modules. Now, this one's in a scanner mode right now, which will run through all of the inputs. You can set the width for the scanner focus, essentially. And that's assigned to one of the controls here. So one of the controls will actually broaden the amount of signal coming in from different oscillators. Take a listen to what happens with this. Okay. You're at scanning. You can open up the filter. We'll open the width up now. Yeah, some interesting modulation happening with that as well. Really kind of detailed sounds. Man, and I can just tell you now, working on this, there's so many different directions that you can go with this thing. So many interesting ways that you can implement the modulation. I'm not going to run through all of the new stuff right now in this video. I'll maybe do some stuff at some point. If any of you are interested in like doing a full course on Zebra, that's something I could consider doing as well. You know, maybe doing like a full-on masterclass on actually how to use this. If you feel it's something that would be useful, then let me know in the comments below. I'll just run through some of the sounds on here so you can kind of hear what you're going to get out of this. This one I really like. This is the morphing M-Segs again, doing some of the modulation on this. It's kind of Blade Runner-esque. This one's pretty cool, sort of droney sounds using, another thing which I didn't mention was the FM oscillators. There's some pretty cool FM stuff that you can do in here now. Koto vibes. Another droney kind of thing. I mean, this is just sick for this kind of stuff. This one using loads of the FM stuff again. More sequenced stuff. This is a pretty cool one as well, just kind of like a guitar lead kind of thing. Kind of 80s lead guitar vibes. Let's just bring that down to here. Kind of sounds just like a synth there, but let's bring in some of the effects using the controls and take a listen to what happens. So this one does some stuff with parallel filters. I've done a few of these patches using parallel filtering here, just because of the way that the mod matrix works, or the the routing works. This one's using some of the new EQ in its filter mode. Resonator mode, I should say. This one's also using the EQ. Yeah, sort of classic Moog filter bank kind of sound. And last one, some acid for good measure. Cool, there you go. I'm not going to spend any more time on this right now. I just wanted to give you a taste of what it can do and just look at briefly at some of the features. It's fantastic. Like I said, some of the things like the arpeggios and things, I'm sure somebody's going to complain about that in the comments. No arpeggio, or no sampling or whatever. Trust me, once you get into it, it's absolute magic, this. It's always been one of my favorite synths. It still is now with Zebra 3. And so go check this out. I've got more work to do on presets still as well, so there'll be updates coming, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, let me know if you're keen on seeing more Zebra videos. I'll take a look at stuff more in detail, maybe even look at doing sort of a full-length rundown or tutorial series or something like that. And are you getting this? Are you getting Absinthe? So many new synths in the last couple of weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to check out some of my other sounds, you can go check out my website, link down below. Join the newsletter or jump on Patreon, whatever, if you want to stay up to date. But I will catch you soon here on the channel again. Plenty more to come. I'll see you then. Cheers.